On to inning number 3 here at Trenton Thunder Ballpark. From the Tom McCarthy radio booth, proud to be joined now by the executive director of the MLBPA and Trenton Thunder legend, Tony Clark. Tony, thanks so much for taking the time. So great to have you back here in Trenton.
Well, it's always good to be back here in Trenton. It is a second hometown for me. Anytime we talk about baseball experience and being able to play and coming through the minor leagues on the way to the big leagues, this is the spot that I always refer back to as the spot I'll never forget.
So cool. And you, of course, a part of the inaugural team here at Trenton Thunder Ballpark in 1994. A ton of great history in this ballpark, but this is where it really, a lot of people got their start, and you had a great amount of success during your time here in Trenton. But what are some of the things that first come to mind when you come back to this ballpark? You see Eric Lipsman, a good friend as well, who's been here from the start too. But what are just some of your initial thoughts and maybe even memories that you have of your time here in Trenton?
Well, we might be here a while if I go through all of them, but I'll offer the following. Before coming in, I realized that at 31 years now, it is you have to have been at least, call it 34, 35 years old,
sure,
if you remember at all the team that was here back in '94. And so it's really been a long time. It's hard to believe it's been as long as it has been, but every time I come back, I remember the green uniforms. I remember opening day and the challenges associated with it. I remember the win a suit here sign in left field. I remember the tough losses, and remember a few home runs. Remember the time and the players that I played with. Remember being embraced by the town. Drawing a blank on the name of the restaurant, but there was an outstanding burger joint that was here that I remember going to religiously.
Yeah.
Rossi's, that's right. That's right.
Yep. Rossi's, home of the Chambers burger.
It was fantastic. And so for me, it being my first full season, despite the fact that I was drafted in '90, I was still going to school and playing basketball. '94 was my first full season. I could not have landed in a better spot to develop, to play, embraced by the fans in the city, and such that, every memory I have, despite the tough year, is one that I hold on to dearly.
Benny Becar to lead things off, and a 2-2 pitch driven out towards right center field, and hauling it down in the alleyway was Nathan Archer for out number 1. That'll flip over the lineup. Andrew Patrick makes his way to the plate. Again, if you're just joining us, alongside the executive director of the MLBPA, Tony Clark, Mike Warren here with you as always. Great to be joined by Tony, telling us a little bit about his great time here in Trenton. But Tony, I want to ask you, you get to see the draft league here in Trenton now, and a great opportunity for a lot of developing ball players to get their talent exposed to some scouts. And just what are your initial thoughts about the relationship between MLB and now the draft league, extending their partnership for the next 5 years, and just what you've seen kind of come from this league and how it's grown?
Well, I'm happy for the guys. I'm happy for the opportunity that they have to play and be around the great coaching staffs that they have. I'm glad they have an opportunity to play in a city like Trenton and in a ballpark like this, considering the history of the game here at this ballpark and in Trenton in general. But I'm Mike, I'm a bit biased. I believe there should be an affiliated team here. This city has earned that right in support of all the teams that have come through here over the years, and being the first to come back in '94, and with Detroit, knowing that Boston and then New York came in afterward, the support for the game and the fabric of this city in support of this team is a tangible one. And so, again, grateful for these guys and the opportunity they have to be seen at this time. But I'd be lying to you if I didn't believe these fans in this city didn't deserve a team on the regular that was here from sunup to sundown, start of the season until the end of the season. They've earned that.
Well, that's just awesome, and that's a huge sentiment coming from you, of course. And I'm sure if you ask a lot of people around the ballpark, they feel the same way as well. Everybody down in the front office, our game day staff, they all work so hard game in and game out to try and carry that standard and that sort of message that, when the time does come, we will be ready for to be reaffiliated again, and very much so enjoying the draft league process that we've had over the inaugural season of the Draft League and up to this point as well. Andrew Patrick chases an elevated fastball from Drew Christo on a 2-2 count. As he goes down swinging, that's the 5th strikeout tonight for Drew Christo. There's 2 down here in the top of the 3rd inning, and that'll bring up Jeff LaCorey. Well, Tony, you got to see your good friend Boomer down on the field during pregame and everything, and a little bit of a different look for Boomer this time around as opposed to 1994 when you were spending some time with him.
A little different look, and seeing Boomer, the first thing I thought of was how hot he has to be. Hot and excited for the game, yes, but hot temperature-wise as well. But it was good to see Boomer. It was good to see Rookie and Dash and the pups and as a part of coming to the game. They are a part of the game too. So just grateful again for the opportunity to be here in this ballpark, truly.
No balls and a strike to Jeff LaCorey. 2 down and nobody aboard here in the top of the 3rd, and the pitch. Shot towards the middle, gloved by Christo. He'll take it to the bag and flip it to O'Reilly for the final out. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on base. Black Bears retired in order as Christo earns a 1-2-3 inning. Tony Clark, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the air. We really appreciate it, and can't say enough just how great it was to be able to honor you down on the field and your bobblehead here tonight in the Trenton Giants jersey. What'd you think of that jersey that you were presented with down on the field?
It was pretty cool, having an opportunity to see some of the older jerseys that were up on the wall, and even one of the BP jerseys that I hadn't seen for a while. That jersey and obviously what it's tied to was pretty neat to see. So having it framed and having a few pictures around it to commemorate it is pretty cool.
Well, Tony, it's always a pleasure when you make your return back to your original hometown here in Trenton, and we love having you here, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your time here at Trenton Thunder Ballpark. Thanks so much for taking the time and coming on the broadcast
No,
today.
Mike, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. The executive director of the MLBPA, Tony Clark, and Trenton Thunder legend here joining the broadcast booth. We'll take a quick break. Thunderbats head to work on the other side of this timeout.